We know him as the storyteller, not the story subject. But life has written a new chapter for Boyd Hoopert, and it starts with 3 words.
I have cancer. Yeah.
Did you ever think you would ever say those words?
No. It's a punch in the gut.
Boyd has been diagnosed with multiple myeloma. It's an uncommon cancer of the plasma cells in our blood. Those cells help us fight off infections and viruses. But in Boyd's case, the plasma cells are doing the opposite.
So this is the plasma, your replacement.
Creating bad antibodies and protein.
We'll go for her.
Which turned his blood into a thick mess, which is why doctors had to work fast, starting with this plasma exchange hours after he was diagnosed.
It's kind of like a simultaneous oil change. You're going to simultaneously put your plasma in here, and at the same time, we're going to replace what we took.
Without this, Boyd would not be ready for chemotherapy. And so it begins.
This is day 4 here, and
Boyd's new reality.
covered a lot of ground.
Hospitals, doctors, nurses, tests, endless anxiety.
It is a journey.
Boyd's mHealth Fairview doctors, Craig Eckfeldt and Greg Versalati.
And not like other types of cancer that, you take care of it, you're cured, and then you kind of move on. It is a long-term chronic issue.
In other words, there is no cure for multiple myeloma.
What was that like when they gave you a number?
Yeah, it's probably the hardest thing to hear. Because I imagine myself being one of those guys who lives to be 100.
How hard was it to tell your boys, tell your family?
That part was hard. And I think it's hard because I know how difficult it would be if the shoe were on the other foot. I'm glad it's me. I think it's easier for me to go through this being the cancer patient.
But there is hope. Multiple myeloma research is moving extremely fast,
We're going to maybe change the recipe.
doubling the life expectancy in the last 10 years alone. And cancer researchers in Minnesota are on the cutting edge.
Developing new drugs that we now can use that attack the myeloma in different ways. And that has revolutionized myeloma and its outlook.
How are you feeling?
Meaning, in Boyd's case, new treatments over the next few years could improve his chances for a longer life. A life soon to include his first grandchild.
I should be done with chemo and the bone marrow transplant by spring. That little girl's going to should arrive in mid-March, and we'll hop in the car and drive down I-35, take a ride at Des Moines and head over to Omaha, and I'll hold my first grandchild. That's a pretty cool thing to look forward to on the other side of this.
Boyd met his wife Sherry when they were in high school, and she has been his rock. It's hard to imagine the strength it takes for the two of them to get through each day. But know this, Boyd is just a Wisconsin farm boy at heart. When the sun comes up, he goes to work. So don't think for a second you won't hear his voice or watch his next great story. He's not going away, except maybe to take a nap once in a while when he's tired.
I've stopped tearing up about it. I've stopped worrying about it. I'm very focused on the future, focused on getting to that place I need to be when they can tell me that I'm in remission.